Hey everyone, welcome to the third episode of the Likt podcast, where we talk about, movies and comic book movies and cartoons and games sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes.
I'm your host, iluvwheat, and I'm with my co-host, Karen McMoss.
That's me. Hi.
Yes, he is indeed a human being, I suppose. Well, maybe
Hi.
you've had a debate that you may be a vampire or an Atlantean.
Yeah, or immortal in some way.
I like to think that about myself sometimes too. I'm like, yeah, I'm definitely immortal.
Yeah, because the whole revelation of the day, we're like, well, what about this though? And I'm like, oh my god, yes, what about that? Then there's also, signs that I'm going crazy.
Yeah, it's also stupid because, like, if you're immortal, why would you be immortal the same way that this TV show describes being immortal? It's a thing.
Yeah.
But hey, who knows?
Well, there could be some kind of real. They didn't get that whole immortal thing from some kind of fact where they read it in like an Egyptian book or something. I could be Egyptian even though I'm very pale.
True. Now, last week we brought up the Likt scale, and we really just forgot to use it for anything, like literally anything. So we're going to review this movie.
It was great
on the Likt scale. It's out of 10.
We are. It's out of 3.6.
It's also out of whether we recommend you see it or not. And this week we were going to do like movies we want to have transform, or comics we want to have transformed into live action movies. But
and I actually did some research and I had a nice list, and then it's like, we're not doing that.
Guardians came out. A live action movie did come out. So
a live action movie did come out. Yes.
We're gonna talk about that, but before we do, news.
And even before we get into the news, there was a question asked last week from someone, I can't remember her name, I think. And she was saying basically,
I did forget about that.
Yeah, you see, because I care. So basically, she was asking, or they, there you go. I'm not assuming your gender. They were asking why we're doing a podcast, and it's a long story. So basically, we both met about 25 years ago, and we lived
in the coal mines.
Yeah, he was working in the coal mines. I was one of the torturers who whipped them if they didn't do the job properly. And Thomas one day was hey, why do you whip people for a living?
But then we basically,
fell in love. He was like, hey, why do you whip people? And that made me question my whole life. And I was like, you've got a point there. Why do I whip people?
Sit down and tell me about your relationship with your father and why you whip people now.
Yeah.
I'm really trying as fast as I can to look it up and find the thing.
Look up the question.
But I can't. It's quite difficult. You wouldn't think it'd be this difficult.
To find the question?
Yeah, I'm trying to find the exact question and also the person's name, so we can be like, hey, it's the person. But while I find that, we can bring it up later, like at the end of the show, which is what I was going to do. However, let's start by saying news. Last week we said Roose Bolton is going to be in he's from Game of Thrones, and he's going to be in.
He sure is.
He's going to be in that movie of the Justice League. Yes, the Justice League movie. Yeah. And we were like, hey, he could be Ocean Master, his brother, or Black Mantis, some evil guy with a mask. And it would be weird to cast someone who's very known for their face when he's wearing a mask. But either way, it's not true, because Ocean Master has already been cast. His name is Patrick Wilson, and Black Manta is going to be Michael K. Williams. So it's neither. So he's going to be neither of those. Who do you think he could be? Possibly. Who do you think?
Aquaman, maybe Aquaman's dad. Does Aquaman have
maybe
dad?
Child Aquaman?
Well, I'd find it hard to believe his child. He's probably in his 50s.
I mean, though, yeah, I do suppose you are right in that regard.
He's like, hey, I am the child Aquaman, and I am 50-something years old, yes.
I'm 50, don't worry about it. But, yeah, I suppose you've got a point on that. I don't know, he could be anyone, he could be his great-granddaddy or something, because they might age slowly, I'm not sure about that, but maybe, who knows.
Yeah. Okay, so anyway. I finally got YouTube open. I'm going to go on to our channel.
I've already found it, but don't worry, we'll bring it up later. I've already found it.
Yeah.
Okay, so now Marvel have said they're not going to make any more phases after Phase 3, or Phase 4 isn't going to be like a phase anymore. They're just going to make movies, which is good.
It's just like, we're just going to make movies now, which is what most movie companies do. They just make movies, but they were like, we have to be fancy and we have to go, make these things.
Maybe, yeah, well, because they did have to plan it out well, because
Yeah.
Oh, why, God? How dare you message me? There we go. It's on
God is a
now.
bit ridiculous, yeah.
Okay, but because I don't like the whole philosophy that either of them have now, which is just plan out as many movies as we can make because we're obviously going to make our money back and we're going to make so much money. Like, I hate that philosophy. Why can't you just make movies, and if you enjoy making them, keep making them? And I'm glad they're just going to make movies and see how they go now. Maybe they won't, though. Maybe they will plan it out in phases, but they're just not going to tell us.
Call it phases, yeah.
Yeah. And this leads into... God damn it. Oh, yeah. Guardians. Guardians 4.
8.
Guardians 4. So yeah, there was whole...
It does look pretty good, Guardians 4.
So they were saying, Guardians 3 is definitely going to happen, and also it might
James
be like
Gunn
a holiday movie, like Christmas or Halloween or a summertime, flick or something.
James Gunn has confirmed that he's like, yeah, I'll work on that, because he was on the fence after doing the second one.
And now he's already on the fence to do a fourth one, because he said that if he does it, it will have a different cast, like a completely different cast. So none of them.
What?
So that's not to say that they will die, although they might. But if they don't die, they'll just be completely replaced, kind of thing.
Oh,
he
I don't
says.
like that.
I mean, yeah. Well, why build up this relationship with these people and then just get random new people?
Exactly, and only 4 movies in. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
If you're gonna reboot something, at least get to the third one and then ruin the third one and then make another two. Except for ruin the second one, and the first one's kind of meh.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, I don't know. Whatever. Maybe they won't even make it though. Maybe they won't let him, which will be whatever. But yeah, that brings back to the whole like it seems very formulated, and the fact that he's like, yeah, we're gonna get to a fourth one. Yeah. Well,
they just have that much budget now. They can make anything they want. They don't care if it goes badly. It would have to go monumentally badly in order for it not to work, and that seems like it's gonna be a hard thing.
If it was because even if they make a Thor: The Dark World where it's just kind of a
meh
movie,
yeah,
everyone's like, oh, it's great, or at least Thor fans are like, yeah, it's great.
Yeah,
this is the Thor I want. But General Zod is going to appear in Supergirl, the character, not the actor. The actor who's playing him is going to be Mark Gibbon, who he's got a square head. He could pull off a good Zod. I'm pretty sure.
Nice.
But so yeah, what do you think about General Zod, who's typically like one of the most powerful Superman villains going up against Supergirl? In a show where she's not even close.
So they're going to clearly nerf him in some huge way. That sounds about right.
Yeah, I mean, because there's no way
they're gonna be like, hey, look, he can't fly now either.
He can't fly
or shoot lasers.
Like, obviously she's obviously nowhere close to Man of Steel, but even in that universe, she's not even close to Superman. So like, how is she? So Zod is gonna have to be, clearly like underpowered. He's like,
you know what? Here, since you are just a girl and you're young and all that, I'll go super easy on you. Then he's gonna get beat up, and he's like, I'm not gonna go easy anymore. Yeah. And you'll see the full extent
he's like,
of my
I don't want to
powers.
hit a girl.
I don't want to hit a girl, okay?
That joke will definitely be made. It's probably already made in that show, and then she like punches them in the face or something. But like, I don't know. It's because with both of those shows, Arrow and Supergirl, why can't you just take the characters that exist in their comics and just make good stories from them? Why do you have to give her Superman villains or like female versions of Superman villains? Like, they do have some good she does have some good super villains, and in Arrow, why do you have to give them Batman villains?
Yeah,
like
is Speedy in Arrow?
Yeah, it's a girl.
That's weird.
And they've got a black guy who helps them out.
So what they mean is that's Artemis. That's not Speedy. That's Artemis.
Yeah, basically, but it's Speedy and wears red or whatever. And it is just weird. Like, I don't know why they. I don't know, why can't you take the characters that exist and make them interesting? Like, Young Justice took Sportsmaster, a guy whose whole thing is just, like, he would kick a football at Superman and be like, haha, I've got you now. Like,
feel the football bounces off his face, he's like, I thought that worked better.
He'd throw a spear, and then, I don't know. But, like, and they made him a good villain who could, like, probably go toe-to-toe with Batman for at least 20 seconds.
Yeah, he is pretty cool. He could go against Batman for at least 20 seconds.
Yeah. But,
and speaking about Young Justice, there's going to be more news on that in a bit. Like in maybe half a minute.
Not now, because I want to bring up these 4 Avatar movies that are happening.
Yeah, they're going to be. I don't know what they're going to be, because it's been 6 or 7 years, more than that, I think, since
nearly
10 years. Is it since
nearly
the first one?
They're
doing a Toy Story 3
I can't do
on
the
us.
math right now. I'm really just bad at math. 5 years nearly. No, way more than 5
no,
years.
Wait, what are
I can't do it. 9 years. It's been 8 years.
Yeah, a long time.
Around 8 years. Yeah. There you go.
They should have.
Anyway,
they should have planned
and it's going to be a couple
better.
more years because the first Avatar movie is coming out in December 18th of 2020.
Yeah, so another 3 years away.
Yeah.
So, but then it's going to be like, what, 12 years or something? 12,
Yeah.
11 years since...
Yeah,
just
the
too
first
long.
one.
They clearly can't have the same cast or else they're just all old people at this point. He's in a wheelchair. His avatar is in a wheelchair because even though his avatar is in paradise, he's just so old now. He's like, oh, I'm tired.
What about Stephen Lang? They could still have him. He'd probably look the same.
Yeah, because he's already old. No, wait, he's dead though. He died. It'd be impressive if they had him.
His floating corpse. But listen, they should. The second one's coming out in 2021.
Yeah.
In December again. Then the fourth one is going to have a 3-year break from the third one. The fourth one will come out in 2024. And then the fifth one is only 1 more year away with 2025.
Oh my god, that's just so long.
And now the thing is, if Star Wars keeps their dates that are on December, all of these movies are going to be going head to head in December.
Yeah.
And now, listen, Star Wars I feel will be better, and even if it isn't, at least it's continuing.
It's more marketable. Star Wars is,
I mean, it has been longer, but at least it's still a present thing. Because Star Wars is more than just Star Wars the movies. It's about the comics and the cartoons and the merchandise. So it's always an ever-present thing in people's minds.
And also just talking about trailers that spoil things real quick. The new Kingsman trailer, I think it's called Golden Circle, something like that, is out now. And if anyone hasn't seen it and they've seen the first movie and they really like it, don't watch the trailer. It spoils something huge. Tom, you haven't seen it, but I saw it, and at the very end, like in the last maybe 10 seconds, I was just like, so that was a pretty. Oh, you just had to, didn't you? You had to do that. Of course you did.
Yeah, but yeah. So I mean, like Avatar, the first movie did set the record for most money made by a movie, and I think still
which is
holds
impressive.
it.
Yeah, it does. 2.3 billion, is it?
Huh?
Isn't it around 2.3 billion made?
2.7 billion, I believe.
Oh, see, now that's more than 2.3.
So clearly, it is quite a thing. I'm just not sure it'll have the same impact given the fact that it is,
Definitely won't, because back in when it came out, whatever year that was,
it made 3D a thing again. So.
And not only that, though, was like the animation was like, oh my god, it looks realistic. Now,
they
just about all animation looks like that, so they'd be like, oh my god, it looks like every other movie.
So yeah, it could be great, and I hope it is. Hope they're good movies.
Yeah.
And Deadpool 2, well, there's actually, in 2018, there's going to be 3 X-Men movies.
3 whole Deadpool movies.
Deadpool 2, Dark Phoenix Saga, or maybe just, it'll be 1 movie, but hey. And New Mutants.
That's a whole saga right there, 1 movie. It's like, look how bad I am, I'm dead.
So, Deadpool 2 will probably be good.
Speaking about...
New Mutants seems interesting.
Speaking about... Wow.
And Dark Phoenix.
Speaking just
be
before I can... Wow. So speaking about... just speaking about Sophie Turner, the actress who plays Jean Grey. She's also on Game of Thrones, and apparently she's been for a good while now saying how she wants to be killed off in the shows. And the original plan for George R. Martin was that she was one of the characters to be killed off, but a lot of things has changed. Like there was this whole triangle of love going on with, I think, Arya. Maybe was Jon in there? I can't remember. I feel Tyrion was in there as well.
Yeah.
It was just very weird. But and so she's been like, hey, kill me off. And some people think now because she's doing all this X-Men stuff that she might be killed off soon.
Yeah.
That'd be sad. But what has she done lately? Well, what did she do early on? She's done a lot lately. Yeah. So she might die. So for anyone who's wondering, there you go.
Yeah. And there'll be a new Predator movie coming out on the 3rd of August 2018, which it'll be my birthday and I'll turn 19 on that day.
Oh, you just gave away your age? Speaking
Well,
about
everyone
age,
knows my age. I said it in a video and it's on my Twitter publicly, so what are you going to do?
speaking about age, I bet no one can guess my age. You'll all guess too young. Do it. Guess.
I'm going to whisper it.
Don't do that. I want to see if anyone can get it. No one can. None of you can. I sound like I'm 9. I'm in the double digits if anyone was wondering, just in case.
Now, what is the one thing you said they shouldn't do with Justice League relating to Superman?
I don't know. What was it?
You said that they shouldn't show that he's in the film at all.
Oh yeah. They should just. It's just something that is happening. They just shouldn't just be like, hey, look, there he is. You're welcome. And
guess what they've done?
Oh.
They did a promo picture where they're all just there standing, and then he's there. Look at him.
Is he wearing a black suit or has a mullet?
He looks exactly. He's in the exact same pose as well. I think that he was in the Batman vs Superman promotional material. So for all we know, they could have superimposed him on that. Either way, I don't care. They shouldn't have put that there at all.
Yeah, they shouldn't have.
I don't know. It's weird. Anyway, so he's dead. So obviously he's going to be in it, but now we simpletons know that he's going to be in it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, just go and insult everyone who didn't think he was going to be in it. There you go.
I mean, the dust rolls off his cough, and he's Superman. You can't kill him.
Exactly. They gave him the whole League of Extraordinary Gentlemen ending, where the ground starts shaking.
Now,
it's like, oh look, he's alive, but then they never made a sequel.
Okay, do you think so? Infinity War is going to be a movie, 2 movies actually.
It sure is.
And do you think it's going to be close to the comic in any way, other than the fact that Thanos will be in it, and they will probably have some scenes from it that look similar?
Well, no, and I actually have this book right over there on my dresser. In that they have everyone, and Marvel split up their whole thing, so they're like, no, we don't need the X-Men or the Fantastic Four. We'll just give them away.
Those are the only ones they could sell. So when they were making shit, they had to. So back in the if you don't know what we're talking about, guys, back in the day, Marvel were making so little money because DC was just cornering the market with 2 characters, Superman and Batman, and they were just taking all the money. And Marvel were in such a shit state that they had to sell off their filing cabinets, they were sitting in an office with nothing, they were sitting on the floor, writing with their own blood. I don't know,
okay,
no money.
just going back to this Infinity. So, and the thing about Infinity Wars is a big part of that is Silver Surfer, who's like, he comes to Earth and he's like, hey, everyone, Thanos is coming, get ready, he's jacked right now. And they definitely don't get ready because they all die. But then Nebula comes over and she's like, you know what, I've got this, saves everyone. And I think they win, and then Thanos becomes a farmer, from what I remember.
I don't know.
It's like, I've had a good life, I'll go farm.
Okay, well.
Yeah, you say, do you like it? Do you like that?
I'm sorry, okay.
That's what I thought.
But Marvel do a lot of movies where they don't have all the characters for it, but they still do it anyway. Age of Ultron, they didn't really need any other characters, but they still just didn't do Age of Ultron as epically. It was like a day of Ultron. It wasn't really an age, but also
it was a week.
Civil War didn't have any of the impact that Civil War actually had because they didn't have half the characters that they should have had. And I know in a movie series it's hard to build in a shit ton of characters, but it's still just there wasn't enough, and I don't know, whatever. And you obviously over a movie you can't have every single character that people fighting. But it just didn't have the same epicness or anything like that. And I'm just hoping Civil War. No, what am I talking about? Infinity War will be. I mean, it's going to sprawl over 2 movies. Hopefully, it'll just be exciting enough to the point where it actually makes people excited
So the thing about that is that there's actually 2 series for Thanos' whole thing, and that is the first series is him going and getting the stones, and that'd be much cooler in the comics because he's off in space. When this is gonna be like, hey, go to Earth. There's at least 8 of them there. There's 8 of the 5 Infinity Stones there. So he goes off and he's like, hey, look, I'm gonna beat all these guys who are the best at everything, and then they'll give me their stuff, and he does, and they do. No, so some of them he outsmarts them and stuff like that. And that's a whole thing where he goes through the galaxy. They won't be able to make that half as cool. Well, they could, they won't. Because there's just so many of the gems in one place now. And then they go on to the Infinity Gauntlet, where he has the Infinity Gauntlet and he kills everyone.
Yeah, and also
brutally
murder. I mean, there'll probably be cool scenes like Captain America will face off with Thanos, and then his shield probably get broken.
Yeah,
and just there will be good stuff in it, and I'm sure, but like it's just, you know, it's not going to be nearly
Thor's
as great.
second hammer gets destroyed.
There will be, you know, Guardians of the Galaxy in it, and Chris Pratt has said that working with Robert Downey Jr. is amazing, and he compared it to like when you meet your favorite jazz musician, and you know you've been playing jazz your entire life, you aspire to be this person, and then you meet them, and then you two are playing together, and that guy goes off in his solo, and then you're really excited because in a minute you're going to get to go off on your own solo, and you can just merge your music together, and I don't know how that has anything to do with acting, but yeah. So you know, but that's what he said. It's like, you know, it's amazing to him, you know, to be able to work with such a guy.
Okay, well, let's continue on with the news. We got sidetracked there with that whole thing.
That was part of the news. I smoothly transitioned into it. But also, we talked about the Kingsman 2 trailer. Don't watch it. Very spoilerific. Although it is coming out on September 22nd, and I will probably go see that movie.
I would definitely go see it.
Now, did you know that in the I mean, you did because I told you, but the live-action Lion King, it is going to have Seth Rogen as Pumbaa and Billy Aisher as Timon. Now, I don't know who Billy Aisher is really, but Seth Rogen as Pumbaa is pretty good.
I do like Seth Rogen, and he does have that type of voice.
Yeah, I mean, it is exciting. I'm happy for that. I mean, I didn't watch Beauty and the Beast because I don't care. And
piece of shit.
And that Jungle Book one was pretty good. Like, it was really good, actually. So, you know, this won't be bad, probably.
Now, my problem is, I still don't think they should make a live action, because then it's just going to be all CGI. It's all CGI, just animals walking around talking to each other saying, yo, what's up?
Well, so was Beauty and the Beast, except for, like, you know, one character and the village.
But no, because, well, yeah, actually. But for, yeah, well, the village with everyone in it as well.
Yeah.
You know, it's a little bit different to absolutely no one being in this thing. It's just voice actors.
Oh, what if they just introduce humans?
Oh, that would be worse. Don't do that.
Oh, God. Okay, well.
But I do like Seth Rogen, and I was trying to get up a picture of that other guy whose name I already forgot. But Chrome isn't working.
Now, if you want to do the Titans live action series,
I do, and that other thing, because, you know, I found that news too. I actually did some research. So there's a Teen Titans series being made called Titans. It's a live action TV show on, and the one problem is they're putting it on this their own kind of website where they just have where they just have DC TV shows. It's a streaming app, and that's just because watch, they're gonna make you pay for it, and all you're getting is DC. Now, talking about that, so that is coming out next year. It's been confirmed that the first season is coming out next year. And talking about first seasons coming out next year, there's a third season of something coming out next year, and it's Young Justice. Young Justice season 3 is coming out. It's been given a name, and it's debuting on the same day as Titans, so they're both going to have some stuff. But Young Justice is going to be called Outsiders. So you know, let's speculate on that right there. Do you think Starfire is going to come into it? I do.
Well, it was reported that there are 3 characters that are guaranteed to be in it. Are Robin, Starfire, and Cyborg. So yeah, I do. But or no, actually no. Robin, Starfire, and Raven. So
Raven's going to be I like
definitely.
Raven. That's cool. I didn't know that. See, look,
yeah.
There you go. You did.
And the other 2 characters are going to be either interchangeable, so they could be completely different. They could be the same. There could be more than 2 extra characters. There could be a whole ton of Titans.
I don't want there to be. Wonder Girl's already in it. What are you talking about?
In Teen Titans, is she in it?
Oh, in Teen Titans. See, now I thought you were talking about Young Justice.
No. I'm saying that no. In live action Titans, the people who are definitely going to be in live action Titans are Starfire, Robin, and
that makes sense.
Raven, yeah, and the other 2 are going to be interchangeable. We don't know who's going to be the extra Titans. And I was going to say they could introduce Superboy and Wonder Girl and Miss Martian and all them. Now, which would be weird.
Yes, and then they'll be turning that into a live action Young Justice. No, but
Yeah.
Did you have any other news on Young Justice? Because I know that's everyone likes that show.
Sure. No, I didn't actually. I don't. No.
Okay, well then let's go to the speculation of that. So going back to what I said a minute ago, and then you decided to go off around about a completely different show. I think they're gonna add in Starfire to the next season of Young Justice. I'm hoping they don't add in a lot of characters like they did from season 1 to 2, just because I want them to focus more on the current characters. Like Lagoon Boy is literally there to be like, hey, I'm going out with Miss Martian, and then it's, hey, I'm not going out with her anymore.
Oh, you spoiled it.
Spoiler.
Well.
Not that anyone
don't
cares.
watch the show. There's no point anymore. It's been spoiled.
No, that is like the smallest part. You don't even know why she's going out with Lagoon Boy yet. That's the big part, which I'm going to spoil right on now. Yeah. So
anyway,
it's Young Justice Outsiders.
Okay.
The second season was Young Justice.
Calm down.
Young Justice Invasion.
Okay, so.
But you didn't know that?
Miles Morales Spider-Man animated movie thingy.
Yeah. Oh, also, I forgot to mention this last week about this Spider-Man thing. That's kind of racist. They're like, hey, since we're bringing he's going to be the first black Spider-Man to have his own TV show, we'll give him the black suit, even though it means it's a Venom suit.
In the Ultimate Universe, he just kind of happens. And also, it's not a TV show; it's a movie. It's one movie, okay, not a TV show.
Oh, it's an animated movie, okay.
Yeah, and in the comics, the way he comes in is that Peter Parker is publicly executed by, I think, the Green Goblin, and after being juiced up on this thing, and he becomes an actual goblin, like he can fly and breathe fire, and this guy was bitten by some people. Sometimes it's the same spider, sometimes it's the same radioactive spider. Sometimes it's a radioactive spider that is it's like been radiated in the same way, but it's a Black Widow. Either way, he was bitten by it, and he decides not to use his powers. But once he sees Peter Parker be publicly executed, he does.
That's dark. That is super dark. I didn't know. I didn't know about this.
He is also super dark because he's Latino, half black.
Wow.
And he has organic webbing, so that takes away the fact. So he isn't very smart, so he didn't invent the webbing like Peter Parker did. He also can touch people, and for a normal human, it would kind of paralyze them or like cause them into extreme pain. For a villain, it can like just really hurt the shit out of them, like ow.
That would be a problem for any of his girlfriends. He just touched them like what the fuck.
Well, he can control it. He can control it when he does it.
And also you didn't mention that.
But what's really interesting about that part is that he could touch Superman, poke him, and then it would actually hurt the shit out of him. Be like, hey.
But he would have to be in the same universe as Spider-Man. I mean, Superman.
I know. But anyway, on that movie, the guy who's going to be the villain, who's the actor in Sabretooth in Wolverine Oranges, he said it's
Oranges. Yeah, I like
Oranges.
him.
He says it's gonna be great for fans, and it's a kind of movie he would show his kids. So maybe they're not gonna have the public executions, I would say. But maybe his kids are into that kind of thing because hey, maybe they're into that.
Yeah, his kids could be teenagers.
Yeah, true. His kids could be teens, so who knows.
But if I want, it doesn't have to be dark. It doesn't have to be R-rated. But I would like there to be some kind of maturity because that's always fun.
Yeah. I don't think there have been many animated Spider-Man movies at all, really. Like, DC are very much into that, but I don't think Marvel do it that often. Like, ever.
No, it's not as good either, because
they
don't have the rights to all of this stuff.
Well, DC on TV they do. Like animated characters, they have the rights to everything, I think.
Exactly.
Yeah, right to everything. Not like anything live action, but everything, animated, yeah. But anyway, yeah, I don't know.
But they make more animated TV shows than DC does.
They make more. Well, in total they have less, but I think nowadays they probably make more because it's tighter. Everything that isn't the movies is bad usually. Like all the tie-ins, like the games are bad. That cartoon tie-ins are not great, really. So, but anyway, let's move on from Marvel being bad at everything except for movies, which are really good. Well, pretty good. So the way the Flash movie has had like 50 different directors and they've all dropped out.
Yeah.
For various reasons.
Yeah.
Well,
I do.
Back to the Future director.
One drop out?
No, Back to the Future director Robert Zemeckis was rumored to be the new director.
Okay.
So what do you think about the Back to the Future director directing Flash?
Is it the first Back to the Future?
Yeah, I think he directed all of them.
Okay. Well, I've seen that movie before. No, it's not a movie I'm huge on. I've seen it.
Do you think he's going to be like, time travel, you have to save your mother, or something?
Woo!
Woohoo.
Flashpoint, but with... who are we talking about again? I've already forgotten.
Flash, yeah. Robert Zemeckis, he's like, look at me, Back to the Future, but I'm doing the Flash, possibly. It's rumored, it's big rumor. Like, they have to have a director by now, because if they don't, that movie isn't getting made by 2018.
No, it can be made by 2018. It's not going to be good.
Yeah, true.
And I do like the guy who plays Flash. I really like him. He's a good actor. You know that guy?
Yeah.
No.
Ezra Miller,
yeah,
I think.
that guy. Yeah, that's the name. There you go. I was trying to remember, but
he's got bad hair in real life and in every one of the movies he's in. Like, he's got that weird bowl cut in Fantastic Beasts. He's got this new one that makes him look like a nerd, and his normal hair is dreadlocks or something. It's really odd. Anyway.
That's very... So he has dreadlocks most of the time. That is hard to grow out. So he's just like, on a whim, he's like, yeah, I'll just cut it off and have a bowl cut.
Well, think about it this way, though. He's a real dickhead, because when he got the call, he was in an interview and he was explaining the call he got from Schneider when he was being called for the Flash. He's like, first of all, I was very surprised to get the call, because they didn't even have... I didn't even know they had cell reception in this country I was visiting while helping orphans. And, like, he's a real, like, look at me, I'm great.
I'm so good, look at me.
I mean, he doesn't seem like a dickhead. It just seems like he does like to brag about the fact that he's a man of the world and helps people, I guess. You know?
Yeah, he's not, what's humble. Your name? What?
He's not humble.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. Although, maybe he was just kind of, maybe he doesn't, or maybe he isn't intentionally promoting it or whatever. Yeah. I don't know. But, so, yeah, and in the new Wonder Woman TV spot, Ares has been shown to be the villain, possibly. Well,
people have believed this for a long time. Yeah. He is in it, and he's just an old guy.
You barely see him, though, isn't it? You just kind of see his sword and a little bit of his face.
You don't even see his sword. You see his face without armor on. He's just a regularly dressed guy, and everyone's like, "Hey, see him? Yeah, he's Ares." And I'm just questioning how they know this. I think it might have been confirmed, because there was no way to tell other than that.
When you're watching the TV spot, you can see her sword clashes, and everyone's like, "That's Ares' shield, Ares' sword." It might have like a writing on it that the comic usually has, but also you see the horns of his helmet, so it's most likely Ares. Now, he is a great Wonder Woman villain in the sense that he's pretty good. Like he's quite
a god.
A good villain.
Did you know he's the god of war?
Yeah, I did know that. Well, no, I thought that was Kratos, but He's a pretty good villain for her, because I don't know, because he feeds off the fact that she likes war, and it's pretty good. And
like, you like war, I'm the god of war. Let's fight, and it'll just make me happy, win or lose.
I'll get really giddy. They've had good trailers so far. Unlike Spider-Man: Homecoming, and much like Guardians, they've spoiled basically nothing, really.
Oh yes. Yeah.
Like you wouldn't even know that Ares thing if you didn't know that Ares was a character that she actually faced, and that he has.
Yeah, I didn't know that, and look at that, I didn't know. No. Although, are you excited for this movie?
Yeah, I mean, because I want a really good DCU movie, a new DC movie, because they've had none since. I mean, like, Man of Steel is not bad, I don't think. Solid 4 out of 5. 4 out of 10. I mean, 4 out of 10 on the Likt scale.
I'd give it a 5 or 6 out of 10.
Yeah, but like it's a good movie for what it is, but it's not a great. It's not obviously. I mean, nothing is like The Dark Knight, because that's the best movie ever made. But no, it's a pretty. They haven't had a great movie. They haven't had a great movie since Dark Knight Rises. And some can even argue that isn't even great, but I say shut the fuck up.
Was The Dark Knight Rises the one with Bane and all them? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't like it, that's fine. It is a very well put together movie.
I did like it.
Yeah,
I can understand why people don't like it, but the second one is the best, and anyone who says it's not is wrong.
Yeah. But they've had a good run. They've done the reverse of Batman vs Superman, where they haven't spoiled really anything, and that's good. Although I think it's all down to the director, and how much do you give a trailer studio to make a trailer? Like, because some people don't give them the full movie, so they only give them bits of the movie that they want them to see. Because obviously, if you give someone the full movie, that's a little bit of a maybe you shouldn't. But the director seems good, and hey, I hope it's a good movie, man. I hope Justice League is good too. But
I want it to be good, but with all of the
I'm genuinely excited for Justice League, because if it's a good movie, I'm so excited for that, and if it's a bad movie, I want to know how they could fuck it up. Like how?
I'm just no longer excited for those movies because they just with Suicide Squad. I was just so excited. I was like, oh,
I was hyped as fuck. You know, I was hyped. I was like, this is gonna be Jesus.
Everyone was like, this looks great, and then it was just. I enjoyed it, but it was not what it labeled itself
I was
to be.
just like, I fucking hated it. I was like, you know what, this ruined my life.
Yeah.
But anyway.
But yeah, they're definitely much better on the animated movie side, where they basically only had home runs.
And like their games are like the Arkham games are obviously brilliant.
Yeah,
like,
I haven't played any of them.
Jesus Christ, is that the best game ever? Like it's like they are really amazing games. And then
do you fear it more than Lego games? Because
I think so, because it's just so much. Oh, it's so good.
You played 8 hours, no, like 16 hours in 2 days, Thomas, of a Lego game.
Yeah, but I love the Arkham games. They're so good, and they have everything I love. Just Batman and all his villains who are just dicks. Dicks.
Superman in it as a bad guy. He should be.
He should be in it as a villain, but sadly he's not. Someone said, wouldn't you love an Arkham game where you're just Superman? You just walk through walls. Like how do I get to these people in time? Just walk through. You're fine. Like,
I wonder if they're gonna make an Arkham game called Arkham Injustice, and it goes because it'd be cool to have a more story line driven Injustice instead of a fighter.
That comic is great.
Not that I don't like Injustice as a fighting game, because I do. I did break a remote over it.
Yes, but
it was fun.
One last thing, the Flash TV show. The new stuff about it is that the new episode is going to be him. So he hasn't figured out how to defeat the God of Speed yet, and so he goes into the future. So he's like, I'm going to go into the future and see how I beat him in the future. So he goes into the future. In the Flash TV show.
Yeah, I said of course he does.
Yes. And he's like, you look at me, I'm the Flash. And he sees himself in the future, and his powers are on the blink. He doesn't really know how to use them. He's got long hair, kind of like Ezra Miller.
Cool.
His villains are so much more powerful than him and anyone else really now, and they just kind of run the world. Killer Frost is Killer Frost. Cisco is super powerful now.
What about Wally?
And his wife is... Or no, wife. Iris is dead, I think. Yeah.
Nice.
So we know that he clearly doesn't.
Because in that series, isn't Wally faster, or is he not?
Yeah. I think he becomes the new Flash, but he's not as good as Barry.
Which is odd, because he is faster according to you.
I mean, like maybe by the time well, he's not as good because he's not as smart as Barry. He's not a scientist in any way. He's just kind of a guy who's fast. Like even if he is fast in the Flash, he's not as smart as him by a long shot.
Yeah.
But anyway. So that is interesting that now they're playing with him literally just being a god. Like he can just go to the future, back in time.
Upside
but
down.
I mean, hey, the Flash is just my favorite. Like he is slowly becoming my favorite just DC character ever, because he's just so good, and he's a better man than both. He's a better man than Superman by a long shot. Arguably a better man than Batman, because he has. Well, okay, I take that back. I was about to say he's never killed anyone, but he's killed someone as his future self when he becomes a god, but he doesn't... I don't know what it's about in this new comic, but he's just the best man ever.
As I brought up earlier,
but anyway,
in A Crisis of Two Worlds, which we'll be talking about next week maybe, even as him being a bad guy, he is still... a good guy and a nice guy.
He saves the world in the end, and like
he saves every world in the end.
In the show, he literally sacrifices his entire happiness, his parents being alive, his man being alive and his dad being out of jail. He sacrifices all of his happiness to kind of save the world and prevent his memory from just getting lost. And Superman would not do that. He would just be like, well, I don't care, the world can die.
Yeah,
I'm saving
Batman
my
would
kids.
do that though.
Batman would do it, but I feel like Batman has killed in alternate versions of himself, and also like once or twice he's broken a rule of guns and just maybe murdered someone if it comes down to it. The Flash just doesn't do that. But then again, the Flash can just go back in time and solve the problem. So he does have that going for him. But now it is time for the Guardian
for the review
of the Guardians. We're going to do spoiler free right now. So we'll just go over the basic plot and what we like and dislike about the general.
Also, this is going to be a shorter podcast because we're not going to be reviewing this for the next half an hour.
Well, maybe.
No.
But so Do you want to you explain the basic plot if you want to go?
Okay, so basically Star-Lord is there and they just beat this guy. They're on the run from these golden people because Rocket's an idiot. and so they're like, oh no, those golden people, they're gonna kill us because they're assholes. And so they leave, and then Peter, Quill, and they all get away because Peter's dad is like, yo, I've got you, and so he saves them, and then they kind of land on this planet, and Peter, Drax, and Gamora, they're all like, hey, we're gonna go with my dad to see his homeworld, or him, and so they leave, and then Rocket's there like, yeah, we'll stay here and we'll do some stuff. Don't worry about us. Then Yondu is brought into it, and there's just so much scavenger stuff that just makes you see how shitty the scavengers are and how nice Yondu is, and he's just a cool guy. And that like in the end, then it turns out some stuff, and then there's a big fight, and Quill is just like, yo, I'm pretty cool.
To explain a little, not more in depth, but so the movie starts with them.
I'm a shit reviewer, I get it.
The movie starts
Baby
with them
Groot's pretty cool too.
The movie starts with them being the Guardians of the Galaxy and basically their task was protecting this planet's core thingy, and then
batteries, double A's,
yeah, like a big battery.
From what I remember, they were double A batteries. From what I remember,
yeah. And then the people are like, thank you, and Rocket decides to steal some of their batteries, and then they're just kind of roaming off doing their thing, and then they come in, they're like, bam, we're going to kill you, and then they get and because of the fact that these people are now chasing them, they end up getting crashed to the planet, and then those people decide to hire the scavengers to go find the Guardians and take them in, and then Peter's dad comes and takes Peter, Gamora, and Drax, and then Rocket has to defend the ship from the scavengers, and also, then the gold people start to come into it more, and then the movie just kicks.
Also, something that wasn't mentioned is Nebula is in this a lot, and you really see just how much of a dick Thanos is throughout this movie.
He's an alright bloke, you know. I'd buy him a cup of coffee.
You know, just some good old fashioned eye ripping.
Yeah, but
eye ripping fun.
Oh, don't be confused. There is no Thanos in this movie because why would there be? Why would they ever put a very like the most interesting character in the movie? You know?
Exactly. They just talk about him and how much of a blue dick he is.
Well, purple dick.
You know, in this he's blue. If you've seen him, you know.
Yeah, but
he should be purple.
Things I like about it. I don't like Gamora as because she's just getting worse. I believe.
Dare you?
Because in the comics, right, she's just a pure nature of death and just a great assassin and murderess. But in this, she's just very much, oh, Peter, you're quite attractive. Ooh.
No, she's very much, oh, Peter, I don't like you, and Peter's like, you like me.
No, in both movies, it's kind of that, and she just is too much. She's not that like. I wish she was more of a murderous person. Like, I just wish she would just be like angry at the world more. You know, like because in the comics she's the world's best assassin. Yeah. In this, I reasonably think that Peter could beat her in a fight, and in the comics, there's no way at all.
I don't think so. Just because when Nebula's talking about that whole thing going on with Thanos, you just hear how good of a fighter Gamora is.
Yeah, but like it's just weird that like you know they aren't like, and in that fight with all of them he kind of holds his own. I reckon like it's just like I don't know. I just wish they were you know like more. I wish he was just a better murderer person. See, wasn't so much with emotions and shit. I love Drax. He's great.
Drax was great. I liked the character how they were shown in it. I really thought it was good. I liked how she's just trying to be like, no, I don't like you, Quill. Quill's like, you do, and she's like, no.
And then she does.
Yeah. Then at the end, she's like, I do.
And it's just like, oh, goddamn.
See, I like that.
And I know you want that to happen. You want them to be together.
I like a good L.
But I like just why not platonic friendship? You know. Because they're murderers. Like, they're murderers who save the galaxy by murdering people. Why can't I like for them to just be friends? That'd be nice from me. But anyway,
I want them to go out, and you know what? I want Drax to go out with what's her name, but I don't think that's gonna happen. She was shown in the trailer.
Yeah, you know. Anyway, but But I mean, like as always, the directing is great. The intro scene to me isn't very funny. But I love the way it's directed is very good. The shots are also
The
so
song
cinematography is
great.
very dynamic.
There's a dancing
The
baby
opening
Groot.
song, I'll tell them the opening song. It's Blue Sky from the Electric Light Orchestra band. Those people.
And
I was like, yes.
For anyone who's not good with names like me, if you've seen the movie Magic Roundabout, it's the song in that. Now everyone will understand that a bit better.
And it's really, I don't know. I love that. That was great. I love that song. That was a great opening for me.
Yeah.
I didn't find it too funny, but it was whatever.
Are you saying you don't like Baby Groot?
I'm not saying I don't like it.
I'm
just saying that intro. I didn't care for the intro. Listen.
I thought that was a pretty good intro.
No, I mean, like, dynamically shot. It was very well shot as well, where he's the focus, and then in the background you see all the stuff happening. So at least there is story progression, even though it's comedy. And I knew that song was going to get cut off, but I was still upset when it did, because I cannot listen to that song and just stop listening to it halfway through. It's so good. I have to.
Well, it wasn't halfway through. I'm pretty sure it was near the end.
It was nearly
4
done.
minutes long.
Yeah, no, it's 5 minutes, but yeah.
No, I mean the whole scene was about 4 minutes long.
Yeah, but yeah, it was. Oh, anyway, but yeah. So the songs are good as always. The directing is good. The cinematography is great. I do like the colors. It is very. It's just It's not as not a lot of the jokes landed for me. Personally.
I'm pretty immature when it comes to jokes, and I liked a lot of the jokes, except for that one about shit.
Yeah,
that was probably the worst joke.
Because it was a shit joke about shit.
Yondu in that. I really liked Yondu in this whole movie. He was great, and then his scavenger friend is it's such a good actor. I liked, and it's very there's so many emotional scenes, and you're just like, oh, why?
So yeah, and before we move into spoilers, I guess everything about the movie is good. Let's say, shall we say?
Yeah.
Like everything that makes a movie good. It is well shot, well paced. The story seems kind of generic. The villain isn't great like all Marvel movies, but the characters themselves are well written. Their arcs are decently done, and you just see kind of character growth. It does feel a little bit more like a movie that is trying to make another movie, but that usually happens when there's a second movie because it's more like.
Just talking about this spoiler thing. I don't know if we should do a full spoiler talk because this is going up like tomorrow.
Yeah.
And like most people won't have seen him, that's gonna kind of be like, hey, look, you don't get to watch this. So
here's the solution that I've come up with.
Yeah.
I will on the screen and in the description put a time code to say we're doing spoilers from this point to this point because I obviously don't know how long it's gonna be. So I'll put the time code for it. Yeah. But just before, I would say definitely go see this movie. Would you see this? Would you go see this movie?
I would go see it again. I already want to see it again.
On the Likt scale, what would you rate it?
See, I like movies because I turn my brain off and I don't care much. Where you and the others are all like, ooh, it was this and that.
Well, I mean, for example, with like Star Wars, you guys were like, oh, it's basically New Hope, but I just kind of enjoyed the movie itself.
I did enjoy it. I knew what it was though. Yeah. Okay, so on the Likt scale, so out of 3.6,
I would say 5 or 6.
See, now I'm going off 3 points. No, I'll go off 10. I would give it a
out of 10. By the way,
6.5, I think. Just because. Also, there is something I want to talk about, and that's going to be like probably the first thing in the spoilers talk. Just because I guessed this thing, and I was just. Oh yes, Thomas, you know what it was.
No,
I told you during it.
And one thing before we move into spoilerifics, the movie is good. I am very not harsh, and I have just seen the movie, so I'm not going to be I'm not going to be too critical of it. Okay, but as everything, it is a well-made movie, and it is very interesting. It just has as I always say, the unfortunate incident of being connected to the first movie, and comparatively, I don't think it is as good as the first movie. Where would you rate it on the Marvel scale? I would say it's below. It's probably in the top 5 for now, until Thor Ragnarok is way better than.
We were talking about this earlier, and so it is like it's on the top 5, but based on what Thor Ragnarok is so far, it looks like it will be overtaken. So my top 5, just might as well talk about this. I'd put in a Civil War. Hold on. Wait. Winter Soldier, there we go.
Yeah.
Iron Man, the first one. Guardians of the Galaxy. and Guardians of the Galaxy 2. That's not in order. Also, I'm just naming top 5.
Yeah. If I were to do mine in order, just be like Winter Soldier, Guardians of the Galaxy, Iron Man, Civil War, and probably Guardians 2. I do like Iron Man 3, and while it isn't comic accurate, I just think it is a well-made movie. But
for whatever reason,
can't think of any other movies
enjoy
from
that movie that much, and it surprised me because I'm usually not critical of movies, and I just remember even that thinking that was just an average movie.
It was very much just an average movie, but I just kind of enjoyed some parts of it. But then again, it is a very dumb movie, to be fair. Like, it doesn't work as an Iron Man movie, but it works as just a movie.
It works as a Tony Stark movie.
Yeah.
They should have called it Tony Stark 1.
Yeah, but yeah, especially just with the whole like
him being Tony Stark.
He's supposed to be smart, and yet he's like, "Come to my house, dude. You can totally blow me up. I don't give a shit." And then he doesn't prepare for it.
You've got bombs.
I don't care if you've got bombs.
I live right on the ocean side with half my house over a cliff. It'll be okay.
It'll be fine.
I've seen how a series of unfortunate event goes. I'll survive. Everyone will survive, and he was right. He did survive.
You're not the proper Mandarin, which would have been very interesting to see how they worked it into a movie series. And I mean, it's not that bad of a reveal. It's fine. It's just that people really wanted to see how that guy would work.
And I do like him as an actor.
Yes.
I think.
Yeah, Ben Kingsley is great. Like, he's fantastic.
Yeah, I was trying to remember his name, and I was thinking it's Ben Kingsley, but then I was like, no, I might be wrong.
Oh wait, before we move in, how do you think? Before we move into spoilers again, I'm sorry guys, just one more thing. How do you think Chris Pratt was as Chris Pratt, basically?
I like him. Did you like him? I like him.
He was fine. He does a little bit more.
He goes through a lot of daddy and mommy issues during this movie.
Yeah, he's fine. He's just the same as he was in the last one. Fine. Drax kicked it up a notch. I think he's better in this movie than he was in the first one. He's terrific.
Also,
he's the funniest character, which I wouldn't expect. Like, he's great.
If you've noticed in that one, the trailer shows them having a hug. They don't have that in the movie. So if you're going in there to see that hug, they don't have it.
I know. Also, if you're going in just for the hug, no hug. If you're a pacifist and you love hugs, no hug.
Yeah. Something I noticed in the movie, and this is going to ruin your lives, and it's not a spoiler either. It's, if you are watching it, look at Chris Pratt's face, and his facial hair changes from scene to scene. He'll have a beard, then it's gone, then it's back again. That's weird. But it was. Did you notice that? Because I didn't. It was very odd.
I kept looking, and I was like, "What is with the fucking sideburns? I can't understand them." Like, it was like gravity defying.
I was looking more at his chin beard because it was there 1 second, like very nicely there. Then the next it's gone, and then it's back again. And
I don't know. And also like Gamora was fine. As I say, I wish he was just closer to the comics and more of a murderous rampager. Raccoon guy is cool.
I like
he does
him
kind
a
of
lot
have
in this. He has
just
kind
of have a story development
issues.
Yeah, he does have character development. I didn't really care about him, but you know, it was cool.
How dare you piece of shit.
It was nice to see that he had that character development.
Like I'm pretty sure he nearly cries in most of those scenes.
Groot was a good character.
What did they do to you, baby Groot? And he's like, I am Groot. He's like,
no.
No.
He's crying. Poor baby Groot.
That is a sad scene.
If you guys want to know, he gets abused. But anyway, listen.
It is a sad
Yondu
scene.
is pretty. I like Yondu. He actually gets character development and makes him seem like more than just a dickhead.
Yondu was great in this movie. I think he's one of the best characters in it, and I can't wait for him to come back in season.
No spoilers, but Chris Pratt's dad is it Kurt Russell?
It is Kurt Russell.
Oh, the indestructible Kurt Russell. He is. Kurt Russell is great, but he's just another character that happens to exist in the movie, and he's whatever. He's fine, you know.
He was okay.
He acted it well, I think.
I can't wait for Yondu to come back in the third one, and he's just chilling there.
Yeah. Anyway, so we're gonna do spoiler. So on the screen it'll just be when the spoilers end. Same in the description, and we're starting spoilers in 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, that pussy good, mommy.
Yondu dies.
You did not. You did not just do that. God damn.
Get wrecked, anyone who decided not to skip past it. Get wrecked.
Anyone who did just listen there, he had to cut out something there, and that's because he's like, Kurt Russell's just a regular old villain. He's the bad guy in it, and I just pointed it out to him, and he's like, oh.
Hey, I gave him a 3, 2, 1 warning and told him it's going to be on screen and everything. It's their fault if they decided to keep listening.
I really hope you guys didn't.
Oh, that'll be great. Yondu does come to terms with his own suicide wish. Just,
it's very sad. And this scavenger that's with Yondu the whole time, you can just feel for him so bad because he's like, I didn't mean to mutiny, and I didn't want my friends to die. And he's a great actor. He's going to be in the next one, and
I cared so little when he died. I was like, yeah, he died.
You piece of shit.
I mean, I like the character development, and I enjoyed seeing him as a person.
Petro Quill is just there like, no, Yondu. And Yondu's like,
no.
Yondu's like, Kurt Russell may have been your father, but I was your daddy, and now
I hated that. I hate that word. I hate it with passion.
That's just because you watch too much porn.
Yes, but like everyone and my fans call it me too. And
yes, but everyone else sees that as a normal word, except for you and your fans.
Like if I'm on a bus and someone mentions the word feet or daddy, I'm just like, no, stop.
See, now I have noticed in your comments a lot of daddy things going on, and you guys need to calm down with that.
I know you do, and someone sent, like, as I've told you about the nudes people sent. But anyway, let's ignore me.
Was there a fist? Did anyone say fist me daddy? I feel like they have.
Hoof me as well. Daddy, hoof me, because I'm a horse. But anyway, listen.
Moss me daddy.
The movie is pretty.
No, don't do that.
The movie is pretty good, Daddy Moss. But listen, the movie's
stop.
Pretty good.
You're giving them ideas, and I actually would rather them not call me that.
The movie is pretty good. So yeah, Yondu's death is quite a thing that happens, and
it is very sad for everyone who is any type of regular person, unlike iluvwheat or Tom.
Daddy Wheat.
Everyone call him Tom. TJ, call him TJ.
Yeah.
He wants to. He thinks it's cool. No, but anyone who has a heart, like me, just feels so bad for Yondu and that scavenger, and then Baby Groot, and then Rocket, and all of the characters except for Gamora.
Yeah, they don't all die, by the way. Just so you know, he's not listing up the people that are dead.
Yes, no, not all of them die. There's very few deaths.
In case you are watching beyond the spoilers because you don't care. So I do feel bad. So Groot is in a scene where he's kind of hit around, and that's sad.
That is. I felt very sad about that because I was like, he is a baby in that, and oh my god, that really. I was like, that hit me hard.
Like, you don't kick a dog. Come on.
That hit me actually surprised. I was like, what the fuck are they pouring drinks over him? And he's just walking super slowly, looking down. He's very sad. He's just soaked, sad. And it's like, oh my god, Groot. My heart.
My heart.
And then
I didn't know I cared so much about tree monsters.
And then it's just great at the end.
Adopt a tree monster today.
Just skipping ahead to the very end during the trailers, during the credits. There is a teen Groot, and if he's not a teen, and he's super angsty, and Quill.
Peter Quill is like, clean up your damn leaves. Why am I always tripping over your pine cones? Yeah.
So then Quill understands I love Groot words now.
Yeah, I am Groot.
He's like, I'm Groot. Okay.
Yeah, we really want emo Groot where he's got leaves flapping over his face.
Leaves that are dyed black and going over one of his eyes. He's just got long hair. He's just lanky and angsty. He's just like, oh my god, I am Groot. Okay.
I am Groot. Okay.
We are Groot. Whatever.
God, man, I'm a scene girl.
Yeah. Yeah, there is something I want to point out, and I pointed this out in the movies to Thomas 3 seconds before this happened, and you can vouch for this. They're like, so the Golden Person's like,
lying.
I've created something, and I just look at Thomas and I say, it's going to be Adam Warlock, and she's like, and then the guy's like, what are you going to call it? She's like, Adam, and I was like, I knew it.
Yeah, because they're gold people, and Adam Warlock is gold, so the connection, you know.
I did make that connection, and you didn't.
I didn't know. I didn't even know what Adam Warlock is.
Exactly.
To be honest with you.
He knows more about DC. I know more about Marvel.
Well,
you want to fight?
I know more about Deadpool. Okay, cool old Deadpool. He's cool.
Yes, well, it's one character in Marvel. I know more about.
And you know about Adam Warlock, one character. Now, the indestructible Kurt Russell does play the villain of the piece, and he is another generic Marvel villain.
He is very generic.
He's just, I want to rule the universe. Look at me, I'm a god.
Now, we don't want to spoil why, because I still don't think we should spoil why he and Quill get. Yeah, but even then, I don't think we should spoil why he and Quill start fighting.
Well, when people are listening to this like a week later, they're going to be like, oh, why didn't they talk about this?
Okay, well then, you know what? Extra spoilers in 3, 2, 1. Okay, so then, I love that scene where he's just like, and I had to give your mom, I felt bad when I had to give your mom that tumor. And he instantly just snaps out and was like, what? And instead of even pausing for half a moment for Kurt Russell, just takes out his guns and starts laying into him.
So Chris Pratt like is with his dad, and his dad is explaining the fact that he is a god and he's immortal and he's got all his Chris Pratt powers.
This is this
I like to
plan,
call them
and
Chris
he's
Pratt powers, where you can create a ball and do whatever. And he's a celestial, half celestial, and
Chris Pratt is half celestial. Ego is
he's
full
half celestial, and his dad is full celestial. And anyway, his dad is explaining this to him, and he's trying to explain his whole thing of like, let's rule the galaxy together, okay? And then Chris Pratt's like, yeah, that sounds like good, and it sounds pretty good. And he's like, why did you leave my mom? And he's like, well, you know, I just impregnated a lot of people to have kids, didn't I? And then none of them got celestial powers except for moi.
He was like,
except for you.
I came back to Earth 3 times, and I knew if I came back a fourth, I'd stay. I wouldn't leave. It's like, and I felt so bad when I gave your man that tumor.
And then Chris Pratt just takes out his guns like.
He's like, the fuck? And he's like, and then Kurt Russell just get pissed off. He's like, who the fuck do you think you are?
Why would you shoot
fucking
me?
Piece
I'm a
of
god.
shit. I'm your daddy.
I'm your daddy.
And then Peter gets grounded.
Yeah, I love that part. And as for jokes with Drax, I love how he just calls Mantis, that girl, just ugly all the time, constantly.
He's like, you are
every
beautiful.
Every second chance he has.
Then 5 seconds
like,
later, on the inside. And I find funny how she's just okay. He's like, you're ugly, and she's like, oh, what? And he's like, but that's okay because it shows that if you're ugly, it shows that someone cares about you because they care about you and not your looks. And she's like, okay, then I will be the ugly. And then Gamora comes out and she's just like, so what are you talking about? And Man's like, I am ugly and alone. Yes,
I'm ugly and alone.
And she's like, yeah, you're not ugly. And Drax is like, she's ugly. No,
like,
Drax
have
actually
you seen
goes,
her face?
Yeah, he's like, have you seen
it?
her face? Because Drax is like, I'm into bigger ladies, okay. My wife would never dance, and she could be mistaken for dead.
It's like, you can do this. I believe in you. I didn't really. And then she stops the indestructible Kurt Russell, and he goes, I didn't really believe in you because you're so skinny and weak looking.
Yeah. He's like, I didn't really think you could do it because of how small and weak you were. Yeah, he just shits all over, and she's like, I'm okay with this.
No, yeah, and like obviously, if he didn't do that, there would be so many ships between them.
I still ship them. No,
Yeah,
yes, I still do. It's going to be an abusive relationship, but a relationship it shall be. We're just every day he's like, so you're a piece of shit.
Raccoon Boy decides Rocket is like, yo, him and Yondu have a talk, and he realizes that he basically is Yondu.
Yeah, he's just a raccoon.
At the end, when Yondu has all these friends, Rocket's like, he didn't alienate everyone. He still had friends despite being an asshole. And he's like, well, yeah, because he wasn't that much of an asshole. And he's like, yeah. He gets all
and sad. Sylvester Stallone is in it for a whole 2 scenes, and he doesn't have any impact on the story.
Symbolic basically. You know?
Yeah, it's just him being like, you know what? Turns out Yondu wasn't actually
because he can't say normal words, and then you give him space words, like he's like, we don't stand off. Like, just,
you feel bad for this guy who is rich and has been very, very.
He's
rich.
Really good in all of the Rockies, except for Rocky 5. I mean, he's still not bad in it. It's just that's a bad movie. I love him in Creed. He's pretty good in Creed.
I liked Creed, not as well as the Rocky movies, because it is Rocky 1 black version.
But it is pretty good, and he's the man. It's just good. Yeah.
That is good. And spoilers for that, he has cancer.
Spoiler for Guardians of the Galaxy: Peter Quill's mother has cancer.
Oh shit! She was attractive in those opening scenes. Like, oh my god!
I hated her accent. I could not.
I didn't mind it.
I'm from Texas or Wisconsin. I don't know.
Yeah, she had one of those cowboy accents, and it was very cowboy.
I fucked my brother.
They CGI'd Kurt Russell's face to look young very well, I think.
Yes.
Like, it was surprisingly well. I wouldn't be surprised if they just dyed his hair.
I love Kurt Russell.
Oh, is that whole scene where he's like, oh, I thought this is the way you'd like me most, and he turns into a whole different actor? Well, who was that actor again?
David Hasselhoff.
Yes. He's like,
he turns
into
David Hasselhoff.
And then he turns back into Kurt Russell.
But I think that's a downgrade, going down to that Hasselhoff when you are Kurt Russell.
Wow.
Like,
oh, yeah.
Because Kurt Russell is amazing, is all I'm saying, in my heart.
It was a good movie, so...
Yeah, as I say, I wish, Gamora was more of just murdering people.
Yeah.
But, And there's the whole thing with Nebula having a redemption where she is nice to Gamora, and she explains how she's like, we had to fight each other, and every time I lost, a bit of me was replaced with metal.
I had so much pity for her, 'cause she's like, all I wanted was a sister, and you were there beating the shit out of me every day, and there's Thanos ripping my eye or my leg out, or he ripped my brain out. I don't even know how I remember that, because he ripped my brain out, but he did. And I just feel so, and she's like, she's gone teary-eyed, and Gamora's like, I was just a child back then, worried for my own survival, and I didn't even think of you as a person, because I'm a bad person.
Because you basically weren't, you're half robot.
Yeah. But
you know what you should have done? Just be better at fighting.
in the comics, in the Guardians of the Galaxy comics, Nebula is a part of the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
She is a
So
Guardian. Poor Yondu. Good old Yondu. Gandhi.
Although he was happy to die.
Yeah, because he did save Quill in the end. But I would definitely suggest go and see this movie. Also, the thing is, if anyone's still here, you listen to the whole review where we were choosing things. The movie is very split down the middle from what I've heard, because Thomas has said from all the reviews he's seen, everyone said it was better than the first.
Yeah.
And then from the
All
one
two of the
review,
reviews.
yeah, and then from the one reviewer I saw, he said it was worse. And we're pretty split, where I don't know if it is better, but I think it's closer to being better than you do.
No, I don't think it has a chance, really. And I mean, it is. I mean, like, maybe in the future I'll be like,
I prefer the character development much more in this.
Well, yeah, I like what they do with the characters a good bit, and like just the way they develop everyone from being just kind of, he's a bandit and he's a thing, you know. And at the end of, you know, Guardians, you see he has a soft spot for Quill, where he just kind of laughs at the troll thing and he just lets it go, and you just kind of see that does have repercussions on you know what happens in this movie with you know his whole team turning on him and
what
stuff.
troll thing?
You know that you know where like he's like, oh, I'll give you this stone if you help us, and then he gives him the ball, and in the ball it just has a troll doll.
Yes,
and
he just laughs about it. Yeah.
Yeah, and it is just good. Yeah.
It is. I'm just going to talk about this Ravager that goes around with him. So, once this mutiny happens, he caused it. He didn't mean to, because he does like everyone. But basically, all of his friends are thrown out into space because of this, because they all wanted Yondu to stay as their leader. And you just see him, he walks up to where they're caged, and he's like, I didn't mean to start a mutiny. All my friends were killed, and he's almost starting to cry, and it's just so sad. You feel so bad for him.
My friends are heathens.
Yeah, exactly. All his friends were pretty bad people. Well, no, I just watching that scene where they kill that one guy, I was like, oh my god, that is cruel. Did you not think that was like evil of them? They're all laughing like this is someone who they would have considered a friend, not a few days ago. But I'm done now. Now, just wait. Maybe that person's gone who we had the question for.
No, I haven't.
Yes, but she could be gone because of the spoilers.
I don't worry. Well. Have you said anything? Because obviously it'll end now, but not now. But you know, do you have anything else to say about the thing?
No.
Any other stuff? Go see it. Still a 5 out of 10 for me. Or possibly a 6.
I'm saying at least a 6.5, maybe 7.
Yeah, and it's pretty good. So okay, and spoilers are ending now. So hey everyone, if you're back to this, if you skipped the spoilers, which you probably maybe have or
let's
not.
hope you did. We're going back to that person who asked the question, Green Sharder.
So there's no news that I can tell, no extra news right now that I can tell of. However, so we did get a question for someone. So here's letters, yeah. So this person says, you're like weebs, but with normal cartoons, or as the Japanese call them, Kanade no anime. So we are Canada no anime. We're Canada no anime.
I'm not.
And which do we prefer, live action cartoons or graphic novels / comics?
Ooh.
I'd say for me, definitely cartoons. I love comics as a medium, and because I don't think you can turn. Like I don't think you can really take like cartoons that are meant just to be cartoons and turn them into something else. And I don't think you can really turn comics that are meant to just be like Watchmen, that are meant to be comics, and turn them into a movie. You can obviously, and it is done, but you have to sacrifice what the writers and illustrators' original intent was with the comic and what they wanted to be. Like Alan Moore's whole thing with Watchmen was to show not just a story, but the way that comics medium is superior to other mediums in his opinion. And comics are great in that way, and you can do so much great stuff with them and silly stuff. And with animation and with live action, you have to have so much money to do all these visual effects and hire these actors that want 50 million a movie. Whereas if you just have a good drawer, it doesn't matter how much money. Obviously you pay them well, but with one drawer you can have space spanning epics and all that type of stuff. So I do love things in that. I do love comics in that way and graphic novels, and you can tell ridiculous stories that wouldn't get published anywhere else.
Can I talk now?
However, with cartoons, they're snappy and fun and can be cool. And also, I feel like heart-wrenching moments are more dramatic in cartoons than they are in comics. And live action is just good if it's good.
Okay, now it's my turn.
Yeah.
Okay, so I've read comics and graphic novels before, and they're probably my least favourite of them. I like mangas more than comics, just because mangas give you much more to read.
Well, graphic novels.
Well, yes, but graphic novels cost 30 to 40 euro.
Yeah, or 12.
Shut up. So, then when it comes between these two, I'm probably also going to go with cartoons. I do like live action. I like Game of Thrones and Walking Dead and iZombie and all that. So, and they're all in my top, well, Walking Dead isn't, but most of them are in my top favourite shows. But then there's also so many cartoons I like watching, and I think cartoons are probably the best as well. Also, that question was from Green Charter, which you didn't mention.
Yes, Green Charter. She or he has been a fan for a while and does like, all the content I produce.
Nice.
She says. Also, who exactly is Carmick Moss? I know you guys are friends, but why are you two doing the podcast?
We're not friends.
And not any of your other friends, like the dudes who threw fruit at you, unless you were one of them.
Now, if I was one of them, which I'm not saying I am, I could have been the short one, or the tall one, the one with green hair. That could be my actual hair colour if that was me. I'm not saying if it was, it wasn't. But no, it wasn't me. No, maybe it was. It could have been. I know where he lives.
You do.
And I do have some. I had some spare fruit that day.
Yeah, but he was one of the people that threw fruit at me. We're not going to say who, but he was one of the people that threw fruit at me. And the thing is, the reason I've with another mutual friend of ours now, I guess, I've tried doing podcasts with that person in the past, and it just hasn't worked because, I don't know, we're not fully interested in the same things.
Yes, I was going to bring that up, how basically you've done
more
like
anime and manga centered.
Three or four different podcasts, none of them worked past episode
I had a podcast, if you guys want to know, I had a podcast planned with Megapie, and it was going to be fun because we had very opposing opinions. And it was just going to be fun like that. But obviously that didn't work out.
Because you said two opposing opinions. That's one of them was like,
there's also my friend with me who also had opposing opinions.
Yeah.
As well. But, and we've been friends for, I guess, what is it, 2 years? 2 years.
Just like 2.5 maybe. Cause
and I've been friends with that other guy for like 6 years. But
this September, this September it's been 3 years.
Yeah. And like it's cool and I don't know, it was just fun because we both like this nerdy stuff. And
also I would just like to point out to that person, I suggested doing a podcast with him probably over a year ago, and he's like, yeah, I'll go do podcasts with everyone else, and it doesn't work out. So like a few weeks ago, he's like, so hey, you want to do a podcast? I was like, yes I do want to do that. Hey, do you remember when I suggested that a year ago?
Yeah.
Thomas.
And and who are you? You're just a simple boy.
I am just a simple young.
You are a simple boy, and I am horse.
You are horse. I am mossball.
If this was Adventure Time, I would be Jake with all the cool powers, and you just
I'd be Finn, who's lost.
Who's everyone wants to bang, and I'd have kids that are older than me.
Yeah, everyone does want to bang me. I'm that sexually attracted. I'm not.
Except for the people you want to bang.
Don't make me sad.
You know, like that show, but
That is true. That is true. So you make me sad right now.
So we're just decent friends who want to do this podcast, and now time for
Wait.
recommendations.
Wait. Don't forget, for if you want to ask any questions, to go into the description and ask questions. We'll answer them in the next
or even
podcast.
if it's just comments and you kind of it is addressed towards us in more than just like a comment fashion, we will read it off. It'll be fun.
Also, don't forget to try guess my age in the comments. You won't be able to do it.
No one will do it, I'm pretty sure.
If someone does, do you think they'll get it though?
There might be a person who gets it.
I sound much younger than I am, I think.
Yeah, I think by
I'm like
saying that though, they're going to
25.
guess old.
I'm at least 26. I'm not 26.
Okay, so do you want to give your recommendations first?
Yeah, okay, so I watched some DC movies over the past week. By some, I mean, like, probably 5.
Yes.
The Son of Batman, I would suggest. It's about Damian Wayne and how he's awesome. And that's a really good movie. Just
Everyone
The Son
hates
of
him.
Batman. I like him. And it's
You would.
probably because he's a piece of shit. I don't know. But I would suggest Son of Batman and A Crisis on Two Worlds. My problem with Crisis on Two Worlds, and you guys will find this too, the voice acting, they just don't sound like you think they should because it's an older movie. It's not even called, back then, it wasn't called Warner Brothers. That's how old it was, Thomas. It was like Warner Entertainment. It was very weird. But it's very good. It's about basically this alternate universe where the Avengers, where the Justice League are all bad guys and have different names, like L-Man, who was Superman in the other world. You know,
L-Man was Batman. You're high.
I know. I was trying to make a joke. You ruined it.
How dare you? L-Man is Batman. Superwoman was Wonder Woman. The Zipper is the Flash. I don't know what his name is. The Zipper is the Flash.
Superwoman was Wonder Woman.
Yes, that's what her name is in that universe. Superwoman. She's the alternate Wonder Woman.
Are you sure?
Weird.
That is weird.
Yeah.
Okay. So
And
basically,
Superman's alternate persona is like other universe thing is Ultra Guy, Ultraman or something.
ultra evil.
It's like a big U on his chest.
Yeah.
Anyway,
he's a bad guy.
so to explain it I'll explain it real quickly. Will
Wow,
I?
I
Will
hate you. I will explain it. Okay.
Okay, do it.
So basically, wow. So it's about this other universe, and all of the good guys who's Lex's team have all been killed. The movie starts off with Lex and the Joker, who in this universe is called the Jester, breaking in to steal something from the crime syndicate, is what they're called. And they get it, but then the Jester is killed. They just straight up kill him. Also, they don't capture him. They're like, dead. And so then, but Lex barely escapes, gets to the regular universe that we're used to, and he's like, I need your help. And they're all like, we don't believe you.
And then Superman's like, his organs are backwards, so we should trust him.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, we should trust him because his organs are backwards. And so Batman's like, no, we're not going. And they're like, we should go. And he's like, no.
And then he goes anyway.
Well, no, he stays.
Ah, yeah.
Until like the end of the movie. He stays because like then their planet's left completely unprotected. But so it's about this other universe, and then L-Man, who's super depressed. No, I'm not gonna say. So he's super depressed, and he's created this bomb, and he's gonna go destroy everywhere.
Yeah.
That's the short version. I'm not gonna spoil it or anything.
If you guys want it even simpler than that, it's an alternate universe where all the heroes are villains and all the villains are heroes. So Lex is good, Joker's good.
He's called
Superman's
the Jester,
evil,
actually.
Batman's evil. And as Liz pointed out earlier in the show, that even when he's a villain, the Flash is still a good guy, which is pretty good.
Yeah, in the end, he's like, you know what? He's
like, I'll help.
If
you
it's
guys.
for saving those people, I will do it. And Owlman is just a complete dick.
Yeah. Although it's weird to me that for some reason owls and bats are just natural enemies. Like it's been pushed on us with Owlman and also the Court of Owls. Like it's just owls are the enemies of bats.
And they really aren't. They're both night birds.
They're both night birds. Yes. Have you seen? You probably haven't, but there's a good video where it's just called cows are just grass puppies. Where it's just this cow and his tail's wagging and he's just shaking like a dog and he's just going around doing roll. He's rolling over. He's just dancing.
So
it's
cute.
really cool. Oh, I love that cow. Anyway, but
So do you have any suggestions? Wait, did I suggest two? I did, and I explained it was the Son of Batman. Now you go do yours.
So I've got Bravest Warriors, and Bravest Warriors is just it's an online it's a web series, and it's a very well animated web series, and essentially it's made by it was funded and originally created by Pendleton Ward, and the simple
He
plot of the
worked
show is that
on Adventure Time, didn't he?
yeah, he made Adventure Time, and so Bravest Warriors is just a group of teens who are all like whose parents are missing and presumed dead, and they have taken over their kind of they've taken over their base, and they're like, we're gonna help people and save the world and stuff, and it isn't like and it is very like odd because and they're like, they save the world, but it isn't more focused on them saving people. It's more focused on the character interactions between them
like
while they're saving those people. And it also like, so Chris has a very, his future is very like everyone like the world. The world. I think even when the character says the world revolves around Chris, and it's just kind of like you see that he's a very important character. But even though he doesn't necessarily like stop all of the greatest villains technically. And he's just great. He's cool. His eyeballs come out of his head in season 3. Oh, it's great. But
that does sound pretty great.
And it's just a web series, and since the fact that it's online and the episodes are like sometimes 6 minutes and all that, you just get like
years to make.
Yeah, you get so much like rant stuff that wouldn't be on TV, and some inappropriate stuff, but then some like just stuff that wouldn't work for kids entertainment but works for like teenage entertainment, and just stuff that is deep yet deep, still pretty deep, and it's just very interesting. And I love Bravest Warriors, and I can't wait for season 4 in like 20 years.
Nice. So. And now your other thing,
my comic. I'm just gonna choose from my list right here.
See, I don't suggest comics that often, so I read more mangas.
Hillbilly. You bought this for me because we were all tasked with buying each other a comic.
Yeah,
and you bought me Hillbilly. And Hillbilly is a great series where
you're welcome.
It's this guy who he was born with no eyes, like literally just no eyes. His head is closed completely.
Yeah.
And this witch decides that, hey, I'm going to set your village on fire, kill your mother, and use this blade to cut eye holes in your head so you can see. And the first thing he sees is his mother dying and his village burning to the ground.
Nice.
So he gets pretty angry at that witch, and he vows to kill all witches. So he steals the devil's cleaver, and he just kills witches, and that's the whole. And that's what the premise of the series is on. And it's brilliant.
Drawing style too.
Oh, it's beautifully drawn and just very dark. Nice, yeah. And they talk all in this olden time, like you're a damn done witch, you bitch, and then he cuts off their head. It's really good, and I love it.
If you're gonna suggest a comic, did I suggest a comic last week?
No.
Okay, Sky Doll. It's basically about these sentient sex dolls. That's all you need to know. It's great.
Yes.
I'll explain a little bit more. So they're on this world. I've only read the first one of this also, and it's very confusing. Like, I haven't actually explained to you. It's confusing because I keep forgetting. But like, there are characters that are there and then look different and sound different, whatever. Sound different. They sound different in the comic. But basically, so these sentient sex dolls kind of escape. And you don't actually know the sex dolls because they're not going around banging everyone the whole series. It's not that. That's Thomas's type stuff. Or Michael's stuff. You know Michael.
Yes.
I was talking to the audience. You don't know Michael.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, so they're on this world where every single religion is on this one world, and it's drawn so well. It looks amazing. It's called Sky Doll, and it's French, but it's in English. Because I wouldn't read it in French.
Yes.
So that's my suggestion. There you go.
All right. And you said this would be a pretty short one, but it's not. It's probably longer than the first one.
I think it is the longest. We spent at least half an hour talking about that thing. I said we wouldn't spend half an hour.
And then suggestions and stuff. But anyway, so yeah, if you guys have got any stuff to say it in the comments, and we'll read it off.
And their Twitters also, don't forget them.
What are your opinions on Guardians? Don't spoil it for anyone in the comments until like it's been a week.
Or at least use a spoiler tag, and then that whole 3 spaces down. It's like, hey, do you want to hear a joke? And then they go 3 spaces down. It's something dumb.
Yeah.
Do that, but just say spoilers for Guardians.
Or just leave if you want to leave a rating, or if it's just a spoiler for your review. I don't know, or like a mini review. But yeah.
Yeah. So that's it. Bye.
Bye.
Nice. That was pretty good.
Oh, hey, hey.